This article discusses the political divisions and vassals of the Mongol Empire. Through invasions and conquest, the Mongols established a vast empire that included many political divisions, vassals and tributary states. It was the largest contiguous land empire in history. However, after the death of Mongol Khan, the Toluid civil war and subsequent wars had led to the fragmentation of the Mongol Empire. By 1294, the empire had fractured into 4 autonomous khanates, including the Golden Horde in the northwest, the Chagatai Khanate in the middle, the Ilkhanate in the southwest, and the Yuan Dynasty in the east, based in modern-day Beijing. Although the Yuan emperors held the nominal title of Khagan of the empire. Political divisions of the early Mongol Empire. The political divisions of the early Mongol Empire consisted of 5 main parts in addition to appanage khanates. There were Mongolia, southern Siberia and Manchuria under Karakoram, North China and Tibet under Yanjing Department, Khorasan, Mawarana and the Hami Oases under Beshbalik Department, Persia, Georgia, Armenia, Cilicia and Turkey under Amudaya Department. Golden Horde. According to notable Russian scholars A.P. Grigorev and O.B. Frolova, the ULUs of Jochids had 10 provinces. 1. Khiva or Khorasan, Deshtai Kipchak, Khazaria, Crimea, the banks of Azov, the country of Circassians, Bulgar, Wallachia, Alania. 10. Russian lands. When Genghis Khan was campaigning in Central Asia, his entrusted general Mukali attempted to set up provinces and established branch departments of state affairs, but Ogedei abolished them and divided the areas of North China into 10 routes according to the suggestion of Yelu Chukai, a prominent Confucian statesman of Khitan ethnicity. He also divided the empire into Beshbalik administration, Janjing administration, while the headquarters in Karakoram directly dealt with Manchuria, Mongolia and southern Siberia. Late in his reign, Amudaya administration was established. Under Mongol Khan, these administrations were renamed branch departments. Yuan Dynasty. Kublai Khan, the founder of the Yuan dynasty, made significant reforms to the existing institutions. He established the Yuan dynasty in China in 1271 and assumed the role of a Chinese emperor. The Yuan forces seized South China by defeating the southern Song dynasty, and Kublai became the emperor of all China, but he, on the other hand, had effectively lost control over the western khanates. The territory of the Yuan dynasty was divided into the central region governed by the Central Secretariat and places under control of various branch secretariats or the Bureau of Buddhist and Tibetan Affairs. Golden Horde. The 2 main divisions of the Golden Horde are known as the White Horde and the Blue Horde, also Batus ULUs and Orders ULUs, vassals and tributary states. The Mongol Empire at its greatest extent included all of modern-day Mongolia, China, parts of Burma, Romania, Pakistan, much or all of Russia, Siberia, Ukraine, Belarus, Cilicia, Anatolia, Georgia, Armenia, Persia, Iraq, Korea, and Central Asia. In the meantime, many countries became vassals or tributary states of the Mongol Empire. European vassals: Grand Duchy of Lithuania, the nominal vassal. However, Mongols under Order and Burundi successfully invaded southern regions of Lithuania in 1241 and in 1259. Jogaila, the Grand Duke of Lithuania and the King of Poland, officially acknowledged Tokhtamysh as overlord in 1382 after the fall of the Yuan in 1368. Mongols of Golden Horde always counted the Lithuanians among their subjects, and Tokhtamysh demanded Lithuanian king to collect taxes from Kiev for his campaign against the Timurids. A number of Russian states, INCL, the Republic of Novgorod, Pskov and Smolensk. Batu Khan could not reach northern part of Russia due to the marshlands surrounding city-states such as Novgorod and Pskov. In 1239, but combined effects of Alexander Nevsky's diplomacy, Mongol threats and Teutonic Order invasion forced Novgorod and later Pskov accepted the term of vassalage. In 1274, the last of Russian principalities became subject to the Horde of Mongol Second Bulgarian Empire. During the end of Mongol invasion of Europe, the Bulgarians under Ivan Asen II tried to destroy Mongol Tumen, but Kadan's raids through Bulgaria on his retreat from Central Europe induced the young Kalaman I of Bulgaria to pay tribute and accept Mongol suzerainty. According to a letter of Beqtlaiv to the Pope written in 1254 indicates that at that time the Bulgarians were still paying tribute to the Mongols. Kingdom of Serbia. Around 1288 Milutin launched an invasion to pacify two Bulgarian nobles in today's northeast Serbia, in the Branicevo region. But those nobles were vassals of the Bulgarian Prince of Adin Shishman. Shishman attacked Milutin but was defeated, and Milutin in return sacked his capital Vidin. But Shishman was a vassal of Nogai Khan, de facto ruler of the Golden Horde. Nogai Khan threatened to punish Milutin for his insolence, but changed his mind when the Serbian king sent him gifts and hostages. Among the hostages was his son, Stefan Dekanski, who managed to escape back to Serbia after Nogai Khan's death in 1299. Southeast Asian vassals Thai Viet. After the Vietnamese captured Mongol envoys sent to ask a route to attack southern China, the Mongol forces invaded the Yuan Dynasty in 1257. The Mongols routed city defenders and massacred inhabitants of capital Thanglong. King Dantong agreed to pay tributes to Mongol Khan to spare his country. When Kublai Khan demanded full submission of the dynasty where Mongol Darfachis were well received before, the relationship between two states deteriorated in 1264. After a series of invasions in 1278 to 1288, the king of Thai Viet or Yuan dynasty accepted Mongol suzerainty. By the time, each side had suffered from heavy losses because of large but ineffective wars. Kampa. Although King V. Indrawarman of Kampa expressed his desire to accept the Yuan rule in 1278, his son and subjects ignored the submission. The Mongol forces lost in the country and the general was killed. However, they defeated all forces of Kampa in open battles in 1283. The king of Kampa started sending tributes 2 years later to avoid Mongol invasions. Khmer Empire. In 1278, a Mongol envoy was executed by the Khmer king. An envoy was sent again to demand submission when the Yuan army was besieging the fortress in Kampa. 100 Mongol cavalry sent to Khmer after the imprisonment of the second envoy. They were ambushed and destroyed by the Khmers. However, the king of Khmer Empire asked to pardon and sent tribute in 1285 due to his warlike neighbors and Kublai Khan's rage. Sukhothai Kingdom and Chiang Mai or Taiyo. When Kublai sent Mongol forces to protect his vassals in Burma, Thai states including Sukhothai and Taiyo accepted Mongol supremacy. King Ramkaweng and other Thai and Khmer leaders visited the Yuan court to show their loyalty several times. East and Central Asian vassals. The Kingdom of Goryeo. The Mongol invasions of Korea consisted of a series of campaigns by the Mongol Empire against Korea, then known as Goryeo, from 1231 to 1270. There were 6 major campaigns at tremendous cost to civilian lives throughout the Korean peninsula, ultimately resulting in Korea becoming a semi-autonomous vassal state of the Mongol Yuan dynasty for approximately 80 years. The Mongol Empire and the Kingdom of Goryeo tied with marriages as Mongol princesses were married to Korean kings, while Mongol emperors took many Korean women as concubines. A Korean woman called the Empress Ki became an empress through her marriage with Khan Chu Khan, and her son, Bailigtu Khan of the northern Yuan dynasty, became a Mongol Khan. King Chung Yeol of Goryeo married a daughter of Kublai Khan, and marriages between Mongol and Korea continued for 80 years. The Goryeo dynasty survived under Mongolian influence until King Gongmin began to push Mongolian garrisons of the Yuan back starting in the 1350s. Goryeo was the lowest-ranked vassal of the Mongols, below the Karluks and Uyghurs, because the Koreans surrendered last. The Kingdom of Kachou, a Buddhist Uyghur kingdom. When the Mongols placed the Uyghurs of the Kingdom of Kachou over the Koreans at the court, the Korean king objected. Then the Mongol Emperor Kublai Khan rebuked the Korean king, saying that the Uyghur king of Kachou was ranked higher than the Karluk Karakanid ruler, who in turn was ranked higher than the Korean king, who was ranked last, because the Uyghurs surrendered to the Mongols first. The Karluks. The Maharaja of Yunnan, King Duanzingji of Dali, was then informed as Maharaja by the Yuan Emperor Kublai Khan, and the Dali Kingdom Duan royal family continued to hold the title of Maharaja in Yunnan as vassals to the Mongols. After the Ming dynasty conquered Yunnan from the Yuan, the Duan royals were shipped off to the Ming capital of Nanjing by the Hongwu Emperor. Middle East vassals: the Principality of Antioch and the County of Tripoli. The small Crusader state paid annual tributes for many years. The closest thing to actual Frankish cooperation with Mongol military actions was the overlord-subject relationship between the Mongols and the Franks of Antioch and others. Mongols lost their vassal and ally Franks as the fall of Antioch in 1268 and Tripoli in 1289 to the Mamluks. The Empire of Trebizond, the Seljuks and the military forces of Trebizond were defeated by the Mongols in 1243. After that, Khosrow II, the Sultan of Iconium, was compelled to pay tribute and supply annually horses, hunting dogs, and jewels. The Emperor Manuel I of Trebizond, realizing the impossibility of fighting the Mongols, made a speedy peace with them on condition of paying an annual tribute, became a Mongol vassal. The empire reached its greatest prosperity and had opportunity to export the produce of its own rich hinterland during the era of Ilkhans. But with the decline of Mongol power in 1335, Trebizond suffered increasingly from Turkish attacks, civil wars, and domestic intrigues. Tributary states: the indigenous people of Sakhalin. The Mongol forces made several attacks on Sakhalin, beginning in 1264 and continuing until 1308. Economically, the conquest of new peoples provided further wealth for the tribute-based Yuan dynasty. The Niks and the Oroks were subjugated by the Mongols. However, the Ainu people raided Mongol posts every year. The Ainus finally accepted Mongol supremacy in 1308. The Byzantine Empire. When an Egyptian diplomat was arrested by Emperor Michael VIII Palaeologos, Sultan Baybars insisted his ally Burqa Khan to attack the Greek Empire. In the winter of 1265, Nogai Khan led a Mongol raid on Byzantine Thrace with his vassal Bulgaria. In the spring of 1265 he defeated the armies of Michael and freed the diplomat and former Seljuk Sultan Kakous II. Instead of fighting, most of the Byzantines fled. Michael managed to escape with the assistance of Italian merchants. After this, Thrace was plundered by Nogai's army, and the Byzantine emperor signed a treaty with Burqa of the Golden Horde, giving his daughter Euphrosyne in marriage to Nogai. Michael also sent much valuable fabric to the Golden Horde as a tribute thereafter. But the court of Byzantium had good relationship with both Golden Horde and Ilkhanate, his allies. Small states of Malay Peninsula. Kublai sent surrounding nations his envoys to demand their submission in 1270 to 1280. Most of states in Indochina and Malay accepted the demand. According to Marco Polo, those subjects sent tribute onto the Mongol court, including elephants, rhinoceroses, jewels and a tooth of Buddha. One notable scholar identified that these acts of submission were more ceremonial in some regard. During the Mongol invasion of Java in 1293, small states of Malay and Sumatra submitted and sent envoys or hostages to them. Native people of modern Taiwan and Philippines helped the Mongol Armada, but they were never conquered.